everyone! I saw this tutorial on how to make a hand washing timer, and I thought it was a great way to make sure you're washing your hands and to build something to accomplish that. I'm following a tutorial and I'll link the tutorial in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. Let's get started! For this project, we will need a buzzer, a microserver, an ultrasonic sensor, an Arduino Uno, some wires, a breadboard, a piece of paper, a pair of scissors, and a marker. Now that we know all the components, we can start to build the circuit. Here I am attaching the servo horn to the servo. This will help give us the visual effect of the timer by having a pointer. Now I'm going to wire up the servo to the Arduino. The orange wire on the servo connects to PWM pin 5. This will give us the pulse width modulation feature of the digital pins. The red wire, the VCC wire, will go to the 5 volts on the Arduino. The brown wire will go to the ground on the Arduino, to ground the entire servo. Now I'm attaching the ultrasonic sensor to the breadboard and the Arduino. The VCC will go to the 5 volts, the trig pin will go to PWM pin 3, the echo pin will go to digital pin 2, and the ground pin will go to the ground on the Arduino. The final electrical component to add to the circuit is the buzzer. The buzzer has 2 legs, a positive and a negative leg. The positive leg is longer. This will connect to the digital pin 4 on the Arduino. The negative leg connects to the ground on the Arduino. To finish off the circuit, we have to ground the entire circuit by connecting the ground to the wires that all connect to the different components. And we have to connect a wire from the 5 volt on the Arduino to all the different components. Here, since multiple components are using the VCC and the ground, we have to have a shared rail on the breadboard in order to use all of them. Now we can make the visual part of the timer that will display how much time is left when washing your hands. I'm taking a piece of paper, making a small cut from the bottom 1 inch high, and then making a little hole at the top to insert the servo into it, making sure that the servo horn is sticking out. Now I'm going to mark out the different integrals on the timer. This isn't crucial to get exactly right, but it's helpful. I'm writing out using basic code degrees to the servo, starting from 0 and then going in 45-degree increments, all the way to 180. There will be 5 of them, and that will be the 5 different intervals on the timer, 20 to 0. So 20, 15, 10, 5, and 0. Now taking a marker, I'm just going to write down all the numbers on the different lines. With the servo inserted into the paper and the servo horn lined up with the 0 degrees, I'm going to use some tape to secure the servo in place. This will make sure that while the servo is spinning and counting down, the paper won't move and shift around. To indicate how much time is left and what number it's pointing to, I'm also going to add a pointer. Here I just use some paper and cut it up and put some tape on the back. I'm going to do some testing out of the components and the code to make sure the numbers and components are working properly. Here I've added an LED to the Arduino, and in the code I've put that when the distance is reached, the LED will turn off and on. So I'm testing out if the ultrasonic sensor is working properly and if the distance is close enough or too far away. The marker indicates where the 15 centimeter mark is, and I'm just putting my hands there, keeping there for a long time, and just checking if it works. And it works! Next, I'm checking if the servo is going and rotating for 20 seconds once it's activated, and if it's hitting the correct intervals at the correct time. My final test is with the added sound and on a tabletop, just to make sure I'm not getting any water on it while it's working in the sink. Here I'm just testing out if everything works properly and making sure I have everything in the right place. Now we can put the entire thing next to the sink and use it to wash your hands correctly. The project works great! Now I can use it to make sure everyone is washing their hands correctly. So that's how you make a hand washing timer with some added sound effects. For the code and circuit diagrams, as well as the original tutorial, check out the link in the description box below. Also check out my blog where I post lots of recipes and projects, and my Redbubble shop where I post lots of designs. Thanks for watching, bye!